Authentication methods are very important. You need to be able to authenticate your user with their username, their password, their multi-factor authentication in order to access Azure. The first type of authentication I want to talk about is going to be single sign-on. This is an authentication scheme where a user logs in once with a single set of credentials, such as you log into your Windows client computer, Windows 11 computer in the morning when you get into your office. And then you open up Microsoft Outlook. Do you get prompted for another username and password? If the answer is no, that means single sign-on is working for you, assuming you're using Exchange Online. You don't have to re-authenticate. Azure Active Directory acts as the identity provider, and it allows users to authenticate once and gain access to those Azure resources and third-party applications. Then you have multi-factor authentication. This is an additional layer of security that requires users to provide 2 or more forms of identification, and they use that to verify their identity. Users provide the initial password, which is something they know, and then fulfill another requirement, such as a code, which is something they have. Multi-factor authentication is going to significantly reduce unauthorized access. And finally, we have what's called passwordless authentication. This is a method of authentication that removes passwords, traditional passwords, utilizing other verification methods instead. Users authenticate using things like biometrics, fingerprints, facial recognition. You may already have this on your phone, for example. And it uses authentication using Windows Hello, approving a sign-in request via the Microsoft Authenticator app, as well as security keys using FIDO2 type of hardware. You can also get in with certificate-based authentication using digital certificates for verification. I think you're going to find this demonstration very useful, not only for the AZ-900, but for your sysadmin job. So we're in Microsoft Azure. I've selected the users section. I'm going to click on my demo user I created in a previous video. Then I'm going to go down to where it says authentication methods. Now currently I have not added any authentication methods for this user. I simply created the user and that was it. Now I'm going to choose add an authentication method. We have multiple options, and you can choose multiple options as well. You can have an email sent to the user, a phone number, you can have an SMS text, temporary access pass, or a QR code. Once that picture has been taken, they can go ahead and enter in a PIN if you'd like, and you can have that PIN automatically generated. I'm going to choose one of the other methods by choosing add authentication method. And this time we'll choose phone number. So here you can choose the phone number and you can say the phone type. I'm going to cancel that. Now another option you see here is to require re-register of multi-factor authentication. Sometimes the users will lose their phones will get stolen or broken. When that happens, multi-factor authentication is now broken, even if they get a new phone. So what you need to do is to revoke the multi-factor authentication sessions, so anyone who ends up with the previous phone cannot get in, and then you require re-registration for multi-factor authentication once again. That will prompt that user the first time they log in to go ahead and re-register. Authentication methods is something you'll definitely want to learn for the AZ-900 exam. There's many authentication methods used by Azure. They depend on the type of security and resources that you need for your organization.